Hey flower folks, welcome to Sheer Inspirations. My name is Sheer and I'm a botanist and a horticulturist, founder of Sheer Inspirations, located in Southern California, high desert zone 8B9A borderline. In today's video, we are going to make this beautiful eco-friendly arrangement using our seasonal flowers from the homegrown cutting garden in this beautiful tall pitcher. We are going for a tall, airy arrangement with irises as our main focus of focal flowers. The idea here is to go with filler, spiller, and thriller. As you can see, it turned out beautifully. This could be used for Mother's Day or Easter, since both of those holidays fall in springtime. I'm going to take you in my garden and share with you the harvest that I'm going to make from my cutting garden and share with you what all that is blooming currently. What you want to keep in mind when making something like this is you want to harvest things that have at least 7 to 10 days of vase life. Here I'm harvesting a Sweet William. This is phenomenal in the water and it will last anywhere from 7 to 12 days, anywhere sometimes even longer depending on when it was harvested. The second flower that I'm harvesting is a Dutch iris, and I am harvesting these while they are still enclosed buds but showing color. This way they will last in the vase for 10 days. These have two yolks. Basically, in one flower there's going to be two flowers coming out of the same bud, hence expanding the vase life. You want to have tall, spiky, sword-like flowers in the vase earlier on, and as they open up they give the floral arrangement or your floral design more character. You want to avoid things like sweet peas that only last for 3 days, only because that will start making the arrangement look a little sad and you don't want that. The third flower that I am harvesting here is an allium. These have a phenomenal vase life of at least 10 days. And I personally don't like to use anything else except water. There's a ton of ways people share that they use a penny in the water or bleach in the water, floral preservatives, or there's a very good way of using sugar in there. However, I personally find that in my experience that just water works just as well, and no need to add anything else. Here I'm harvesting a beautiful purple Dutch iris from the main garden. As you saw me earlier, I was harvesting from a container, and here I am in my greenhouse. I'm harvesting some honeywort shrimp plant, botanical name Ceranthe. These have a phenomenal vase life of at least 10 to 12 days. I recently made a video about how to grow these from seed to flower, and I will leave a link here for you to check out. They are a beautiful addition in your cutting garden. I have also harvested gazanias, and the stem length that I'm going for is anywhere from 12 to 15 inches. If it's a little bit short, that's fine, but I don't want things that are too short. I do, however, have roses that are a little bit short that I will be using here around the neck area of the vase. However, that's okay because those are fragrant. This is my current harvest. I have honeywort, gazania, allium, and a Dutch iris, and all of these have a great vase life. The reason why I am insisting on having flowers that have a long vase life is because we are wanting to have something that we're going to work so hard on and at least be able to enjoy for 7 to 10 days, just like you would when you buy something from the florist. The only thing that is different here is we're not using floral foam and we're using local flowers, and the goal here is to use everything from our garden. I have hydrated the flowers in the bucket that you see here. I acquired this bucket from Dollar Tree. I have a few vases here that I wanted to share with you The one vase that I'm going to make the arrangement in is the pitcher. The other one is for extra flowers if I have any, and both of them are going to need this chicken wire. This is a great way of making the stems look very professional in a vase. However, if you have a vase that is like this with wide mouth and narrow neck, they don't need floral wire. They don't need poultry netting or chicken wire because they are perfect as is. So if you have those are the ideal vases if you don't have access to chicken wire. Now, here's the thing with chicken wire. If you can find galvanized chicken wire, that will last much longer and it won't rust. However, if you can't access galvanized variety, you can just use whatever kind you have, cut it in a square like I did here, and basically make a little globe and put it on top of your pitcher or your vessel that you're using to make this arrangement. In this area of the vase that I've started out, I started with salt cedar that I foraged locally. Then I started filling my honeywort Ceranthe in, and then I'm adding the filler flowers and the focals I add at the end. And anytime there is a hole or I feel that there's an empty spot, that I'll go around and fill it up. The idea here is to purchase the poultry netting in a roll that you can utilize for multiple vases over and over again. So you don't have to throw this away. This way, you're doing two things. You are not purchasing the single foam to use one time and throw away. Number two is we are using ecologically friendly flowers, meaning that they don't have flower miles on them. 80% of the flowers that are sold here in the United States are coming from South America. And our goal here, my goal here with this channel, is to share my knowledge of how to grow a year-round cutting garden, and you don't have to then support the grocery store flowers or your florist flowers that have flown in from God knows where. Certainly support your local business, small businesses, small farmers, because those are all sustainable ways. This is what the arrangement looks like right after it's done. Of course, it's not open yet, but it will hydrate. It will start to kind of come in its own, and I will show you what that looks like here in a minute. The other flowers that I had are bearded irises that I had harvested. Those don't have a very good vase life, unlike these Dutch irises do. So those ones will only last about 3 days, and if you have a bud right next to the already open flower, then they will come up and last another 3 days. So a total of 6 days, maybe, depending on the bearded iris. These ones that you see here are ranunculus, bearded iris, and snapdragons that I have left over. Because the bearded iris didn't last so long, the arrangement starts to look sad, and then I have to pinch in the bearded iris. So I don't recommend using the bearded iris in an arrangement unless you're wanting to save it from the storm like I did with the windstorm. Ranunculus have a great vase life and have phenomenal colors that they come in, last anywhere from 10 to 12 days. This is what the vase looks like once all of the flowers are open. It has come on its own. It can be used in a beautiful centerpiece or a Mother's Day arrangement or Easter arrangement, and it looks great. Will last anywhere from 10 to 12 days, and I have not used any floral food. I have just harvested and hydrated the flowers for 4 hours. If you are harvesting in the morning, you will not need to hydrate for this long. However, if you're like me and you're harvesting in the evening, you will need to hydrate them pretty good before you start arranging them. The chicken wire, as I said, could be reused, and the tall area arrangement with filler, thriller, and spiller idea is all done. And I hope you enjoyed and got value out of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.